In our previous tutorials, we've looked at several different ways to create motion actions from different targets and assign them the appropriate motion settings. We're probably now ready to combine all of these actions and pass them to the controller. For those of you that have already tried passing several motions into one controller, you'll have noticed that the controller doesn't like it. That's because the controller is prepared for multi-robot support and assumes that each procedure that's passed to it is for a different robot. In this particular example, we've only got one robot in the controller and therefore need to pass just a single procedure. We're going to combine these procedures into one using the combine component. I could drag each of these directly into the combined parameter, but for a little bit more safety, I'm going to use a merge component. I'm going to add these in order that I want, and as you'll notice here, one of the quirks of Grasshopper is that sometimes the paths aren't what you expect. To solve that, I'm going to flatten each of the inputs to the merge component to make sure that its path is reset, and we should end up with one single list with 3 procedures in it. Now when I pass that to the combine and that into the controller, we should be good to go. I'm going to solve. We can see that some of our procedures here are using joint motions and others aren't. And then I can simulate. I'm going to take the time during the simulation to show you the procedure browser. If I double click on the execution bar, you'll see that I have a list here of all of my procedures. All of my actions, in fact. From the starting position, the several motions of the figure to 8 procedure, and then the final position. Within this window, I can also play and pause simulation, reset it, skip between actions, and even speed and slow the simulation if I want to. The other thing that we can see here is that all of our actions are displayed in a single list, rather than being grouped into the procedures with which we pass them in. That's the responsibility of the compact input in combine. If I close this window for a moment, and you'll see that compact is currently set to true. If I invert that and set it to false, you'll see that now I have groups of actions that align to the procedures that we had before. We have a starting position procedure which has only one action, the figure of 8 procedure, several actions, and then the final position procedure which has just that final motion in it. We can expand and collapse these if we want to have more or less detail in our view. The structure here doesn't change the execution and is more used for export and for legibility within this procedure browser.